Good morning. Buen dia, pardon me. Morning, I don't like to say. Hey, let's talk about some of the words that I don't like to use. Morning is death. So I don't. I try not to use morning. I like to say grand rising, happy rising, stuff that makes you feel good. And the word hello, hell. No, I don't wish that on people. So I try to greet them um, differently. Muchas bendiciones, many blessings, uh, and just be here now, be alive, be right, be ready, and just be because when you're here, you can just respond in that moment. That's the beauty of the life. My rainbow rose seeds showed, or my rainbow corn seeds showed up yesterday. Yahoo! So today we'll be doing some planting. Super excited about that. My girl's still sleeping, which is good because she didn't sleep a couple of nights before that. She hadn't been feeling good, but now she's we've doctored her up. I've had activated charcoal in her water, and we put local organic honey in her um, kibble, and then I've been feeding her bones with a bone with turmeric on it, and it those are natural antibiotics and good for her, and she's recovering quite well. I'm super happy. I'm super grateful. We'll go for a walk after this. But I thought since I have internet, I might as well do this and get it on. I don't think a lot of people will be hopping on at this time in the morning, but that's okay. We all have our different agendas and what we're up to. And I didn't advertise today at all, so I just thought get it done. Because if I go into all of that, then sometimes things go screwy too, and then I get blocked out. Because right now my messenger isn't working. I don't think my Gmail's working either, because I hadn't received any. So I think, yeah, there's kind of cosmic stuff going on, which is okay though, because that just leads me to spend a little bit more time here on YouTube. So I find for me, this is where I go to learn stuff. So when I pop on YouTube, I ask questions. I want to know stuff. I want to learn stuff. So that's why I why I'm doing this is I want to help people to live healthier and happier lives. And there's always a healthy alternative to everything. And there's always a natural healing, and less is more. And so there's a lot of little tips and tricks that you can learn along the way if you take the time to make time for your precious self, because nobody else will. If you don't make time for yourself, nobody else will, because energetically they feel that, they realize that you're not 100% confident in your source, and your source is always flowing through you, to you, and through you. God consciousness, Christ consciousness, source consciousness, creator consciousness, whatever you want to call it, is always, we're radio receivers, and it's always flowing to us. And if we're tuned into source, we do amazing things, because source gives us this unlimited power that just flows through us, and it allows us to step up and step outside of our comfort zone, which is a lot of what I'm about, because I don't have a comfort zone anymore. No, it doesn't exist. There isn't anything that I won't try. I've done skydiving. I love the whole being alive. So there's so many different things that you can learn here every day, and there's so many things that you can learn from. Nature is my guide and my gift. And there's my girl who's having her sleep time. But my gift to the world is showing up every day in a positive way and with energy. Ah, woo! Like it's 7:30 in the morning, and I've been up for a couple hours, and I've got a lot of stuff on the go. And I'm blocked out of most of my social media, so this is just another way for me to have the opportunity to share and to open my heart to help people if people have questions, that's what I'm here for. I've I'll be 55 in January, and I've taken this time in my life to learn I call it my PH me. I've earned my PH me. I know how this thing works. And that's my job to figure out how my body works. I don't take drugs. I smoke cannabis. I haven't had a pharmaceutical since 2005. I haven't seen a doctor since 2010. I don't take. I never took the jab. None of that stuff. I'm a organic, 100% organic guy, and you can heal yourself of anything. Anything that you've created, you can uncreate. That's the whole fun about learning about your body and about how you have the ability to heal. When I was young, I was a mess. From 16 to 35, 36 almost, I was drunk. All I did was go to the bar and chase women. I had all kinds of issues. And now 20 years later, I'm happier and healthier than I've ever been, because I've created a whole different me. I created the opposite me. I went from Brent, who is who's my original name, to a little space. There's a video of it in 2012 in BC. I take all of my identification, my driver's license, my passport, my birth certificate, my social insurance card, and it's on my site here. It's called Bye Bye Brent Talbot Hello a Little Space, and I throw all of my identification into the fire, and I denounce my citizenship to Canada because I was not proud of a country that did not take care of its people. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the media. I learned a lot about the police. I learned a lot about the government. And in my activist days, and I tried to change the system. I did everything in my power. I occupied in Calgary for 55 days. We lived in Aki Plaza, which was right downtown in front of City Hall, in our tents in winter, and it was cold. It was it was a crazy time, but it was also magical. I learned so much, and I met so many amazing people from all over the planet. And I found that everybody had three things in common. I asked people what what could you use more of? And they all had three problems. They had no time, no energy, and no money. And so I thought about the system, which is the system, the monetary system. And so I looked at that word system. Save yourself time, energy, money. That's the acronym for system. Well, it's not the people that are messed up, it's the system, because there's no time, no energy, and no money built into the system. To be energized, you need to be inspired. And to be inspired is to live a life of truth and honesty and freedom and empowerment, because you can do anything. You can be anything, especially if you're super well, even at my age, I can do anything that I want. If I want to, I can become a pro athlete. If I want to be the world's whatever it is, if I want to be a professional photographer, if I want to be a professional painter, as long as I focus on it and take time and I'm patient with myself, I can do it. I can do anything. I figured out how to do so many things, and I love it because it's all trial and error, mostly error. But that's how I learn, by doing it wrong and then going, okay, but now I know how to do it right. Once you do it right, then that's a tool. That's a tool that you have with you everywhere you go, and you can use that tool because you've created that tool. It's almost time to get out into the garden. I'm excited, but as you can see, we're at the top of the mountain, so the sun's not quite up here yet. Um, it comes up from behind us, so it'll be here in about an hour, and that gives me lots of time to finish this and to get. I'm going to make some more biochar today and some more super soil and get some more planting done. This is for me what is my life was learning how to garden. That really 100% transformed it. I lived in Calgary for 37 years in Alberta, and I had a lot of friends, a lot of older friends, and none of them were happy or healthy. And I was always saying to myself, I need to find some happy, healthy people. So I left Calgary and I went to BC, and I moved to Victoria, and that was a massive transition. First time I'd lived outside full time. I was living in Beacon Hills Park, which was absolutely incredible. Uh, a beautiful place and illegal. It's called the Right to Sleep Act. You're allowed to erect a structure from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. So you could put your tent up overnight as long as you packed up in the morning. And we had the world's most expensive alarm clock. We had the police, and they would show up every morning at 6 a.m. and make sure that we were awake. And we'd be sitting up there packing up and having a hoot. And we'd talk to them. We made friends with most of them. We drove them crazy because we were having a good time and we didn't have issues and we didn't have stress and we weren't screaming at each other. We were just enjoying life because I learned how to slow down. Living outside was a big transition, and I did it for 3 years in Canada, and I did it from Victoria, Salt Spring Island, all the way to Hull, Quebec. So it was in many different climates, and holy shit, was I cold like a few times, and other times it was absolutely pure magic. So, but your body acclimates because I wasn't a tough person ever in my life. I was always a bit of a weakling. And as I spent more time in nature and I spent more time barefoot and I spent more time eating correctly and working on myself, my whole life transformed, big time transformed. And and I became joyful. Now I own that. I own joy. Watch any of my videos. Watch any of my dance videos. Watch any of my talking videos. I'm always happy, and I've been happy like my YouTube channel started in 2010. This is 2024. That's 14 years. And those all of my videos, I'm a happy person. I'm a happy person unless I'm talking about the government. Unless it was during my occupied time and the government had made me "Nyeh." But I learned a lot in those days and I found so much joy in the fact that people were trying to change the system. Even though there wasn't a lot of us, there was only a few of us, but we were trying to change the system, and the system was way bigger than us. But we had this just knowing in our hearts that the system was wrong and the people were fine. And even though nobody would listen to us, we still kept showing up and showing up and showing up and showing up. And now 14 years, well, Occupy was in 2011, so we're in 2024. Now 13 years later, all of the stuff that we were talking about is all coming to fruition. And so you can't deny that because it's all on video. Unless they erase it and take it down, which happens a lot too. Like something else that I've witnessed in my lifetime is I've seen history being rewritten in my right in front of me. It's unbelievable. We I get blocked out of so many places for trying to spread truth and love. It's just it's bizarre to me, but I'm a little bit OCD. I like to call that a overly conscious disorder. I have a lot of energy, and it's because I work on myself. I take time to make time for my precious self. Every day I get exercise. Every day I meditate. Every day I'm in the garden. Every day I'm barefoot. Every day I eat good. I eat better than anybody I know at my age, and it shows because I have a lot of younger friends, and they can't keep up with me up and down these hills, and they couldn't live my life. The stuff that I've carried up here is just unbelievable. It blows me away every time I do it, but it's like woo, full power. So your life, your time. What are you doing with it? This is what I've done. I've created this place, Karma Healing Nursery. We are ensconced in food. There's food growing everywhere. I'm a foodie, 100% a foodie, and I love gardening because how I when I learned gardening, I learned abundance. I never knew what abundance was. When you put one seed in the ground, and all of a sudden, like a zucchini is an amazing example. You get put one seed and you get 20 zucchini, and every one of these zucchini has at least a couple 300 seeds in them. So you're looking at another 600 seeds. That's from one seed. From one seed. And that happens with all the seeds, with all of them. These tiny little tomato seeds make these giant tomato plants with tons of tomatoes, and they just keep making more tomatoes. It's mind bending. Cauliflower seeds are so small, and cauliflowers are huge. How does how does the seed know what to do, what to become? How is that? How? How? Like, that's amazing. We can't reproduce that as humans, by the way. We can't even reproduce a blade of grass. As Mark Twain said, until we can reproduce a blade of grass, we will know nothing. And I feel that we are a very young species, a very young species. Uh, some of us here are older souls, some of us are aliens. I believe that I am, and that I've been put here to help raise consciousness, to help people to live happier and healthier lives, and to simplify life, because life is not supposed to be complicated. That is a man-made thing. If it's like law, the word law, it stands for land, air, water. That's it. Land, air, water. it's and it's not you. You are a lot of water, and you got some air in you. But let's talk like all these laws are man made. You're a sovereign being. You are divine spiritual being having a human experience. You're above the law, all the laws, none of them are really exist. They're just things that people have made up and people follow it. But it's not the truth, it's not real, and it's not who you are. You're a divine spiritual being having a human experience. Came here to learn how to love yourself. Fly first, love yourself. Uh, Acronym that I will go over many, many times because I love it. I love living on vibrational energy. That's the energy. You can feel that. It's palpable, and it's a vibration. There's an absolute vibration to it. So, and it's what you do frequently, it would determines your frequency. So, frequency, vibration, and energy is everything. As Tesla told us many years ago, and that's what it's all about. And if you can tap in and attune your frequency, then you can up level your consciousness by up by upgrading your frequency and your vibration, and then you get more energy. It's a win-win-win situation. There's no loss in this. It's a magical experience, and we are all afforded the opportunity to do it. Take time to make time for your precious self. If you're not a meditator, if you want to become a meditator, that's something I'm going to start doing on my podcast. Is I'm going to do live guided meditations. This is week number 1. This is day number 3, and this will be it for the week. We're gonna go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'd like to have specific times, but like I say, with my internet connection here, and with our tumultuous rainy season, I never know exactly when I'm going to be able to get on, so I'm going to get on as when I can, as fast as I can, and get it on. So if you have any questions, if you have anything that you'd like me to talk about, if you want to come on and talk with me, these are all options. I want this to be a page for people to come and learn how to be free. So let's see. Well, that's hugs on me left hand. And then that's free on me right hand. Free hugs. Oh, and there's my cape. You can't make this stuff up. This is my job. I am Hugman. I give free hugs. Feeling really empowered every day. Free hugs, harmonious, unconditional giving service. I came to Mexico to learn family. Number one, patience. Number two, and all year gardening. Number three. Uh, Number one, to learn family. The reason that I came here is that it's unconditional love here in Mexico as opposed to in my society back in Canada. In Canada, there's conditions to the love. You have to show up. You have to be able to, you have to be prosperous. You have to make money. You have to make money. It's not about who you are. It's about what you are and what you have. It's more important. Whereas here, people just like to see you showing up with a smile, and they especially love it when you give them stuff because I love gifting chocolates and dates and seeds. Seeds is my favorite, and produce, uh, and little things that I've created. I love making bliss balls. I love sharing because every time I give, I'm saying to the universe, I have faith in you. 100% I have faith. Faith, finding answers in the heart, finding answers in the heart. That's what faith is. It's about attuning to your heart because we're born in our hearts, and then society tells us we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not fast enough, we're not strong enough, we're not tall enough. And so that moves us from our hearts into our heads. And we start thinking about everything and worrying about everything. And we get anxious and we get stressed and we get conditions and we get all kinds of things. So, our whole journey now that we get pushed up into our head by society is to drop back down into your heart, that 18-inch superhighway. That's what I call it because that's where your truth is. That's where all goodness lives, all knowing, all loving, all seeing. Everything that you need is in your heart. Everything that you'll ever need is in your heart. God lives in my stomach. I live in my heart. The universe lives in my mind. My mind. It's just a projection. We're in a 3D holographic reality that's being projected. So all we need to do is tap into our higher selves, ask for guidance, open up. Greetings, brother. Ow. Much love, much love. Yeah, when you tap into your higher self, everything's possible because your higher self knows everything. You have any questions, brother? Yeah. Happy morning from H Town to you. Where's H Town? I don't know H Town. Happy Town to you. Well, I'm in San Mateo, Rio Hondo, Oaxaca, brother, and greetings, happy morning, happy day to you. I try not to use the word morning. Morning is a death. When somebody dies, you go into mourning. You mourn them. So that's been a trick that they've used. Houston, Texas, Texas. Ah, excellent. Everything's bigger in Texas. I lived in Alberta, so I had the same thing. We were a country town. That's how I grew up. Um, yeah, it's I'm sure right now the states are pretty crazy. I'm in Mexico. See, Oaxaca as in Mexico, south Mexico. It's beautiful. I'm living in the mountains, feeling super blessed every day. Got a giant garden up on the top of a mountain, living by myself with my dog. She's sleeping right now, and I'm so grateful every day to be here. Mexico is magical, especially compared to Canada for me. The people here are just more heart centered. They're more at peace. Sí, sí, practica español todos los días. Necesito, mi amigos, no hablas inglés acá. Sí, es muy tranquilo aquí, acá. Is about 500 people in the pueblo in our town. And after 8 o'clock, you can pretty much hear a pin drop here. It's beautiful. I'd have to say my state of mind has been focused and happy. I've had a lot of stuff going on. My dog's been sick. She's had some issues, but we've worked through them. And the world has got a lot of crazy things going on. And I find that as long as I tap out of that and tap into here, I'm okay. But when I tap too much into this thing, into my phone or into the social media, that's when my state of mind is challenged. How's your state of mind doing? I'm sure with everything that's going on in the States, you must be a little bit wow. I just feel that things are going to change super rapidly with the way everything is in the world. Yes, yeah, that's all we can do is pray, and prayer is powerful. It's super powerful. So do put your prayers out there. Oh wow, good for you. Well, at least you're trying to learn. I was mid 30s before I tried to figure myself out. My teenage years were a blur, so I don't know what I want in life as of now. That's fine, and you don't need to know. Um, what I would suggest is just listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Do what makes you happy. Don't listen to what other people say. Most importantly, whatever excites you, if it's art, whatever your art is. I love poetry. I love colors. Well, yes, but that's okay. We all were. I was too. In my teenage years, I had all kinds of things going on, so I get it. I lost a lot of friends too to suicide and to murder um, in my younger years. So I understand it. Don't don't think of yourself as a mess. The world's a mess, and you're just a part of the world. So what you need to do is disconnect from the world and spend more time with yourself. Tap into your heart. Feel free to message me, and we can talk about this one on one. It would be a pleasure. I get it. I was a kid once too. Yeah, I was a cocaine addict. I get it. I have so many people have so many drug addictions that have been created. Woohoo! Congratulations. That's amazing. High 5 months. High 5 months. Well, it's a tough road, but you know what? You'll find yourself once you get rid of all of the stuff, you find yourself underneath. And you know what? That's a good thing because when I was 35, I was bankrupt, divorced, homeless, jobless, friendless, moneyless, suicidal, in the worst shape of my life. No worries. I appreciate you too. And I survived it. I survived it. But it was by the grace of God and by tapping in. I got started getting exercise. That's what I highly recommend. I started running. I went to the gym and I started getting exercise. Then I created exercise, boundaries, affection. That's my magical formula, brother. Exercise, number one, and that stimulates the mind. Then you create healthy boundaries, things that you won't do, like opioids, for example. For me, it was alcohol, it was cocaine, it was cigarettes, I had so many things that I had to stop. But I became a whole different person because I needed to be in order to find me. We have a left brain and a right brain, and we're all pushed into our left brains. And you don't until you tap into your right brain, you find your creative side, and that's where you'll find your artistic self. And follow whatever it is that makes you happy. If it makes you happy, do it. That's my rule. If I don't love it, I don't do it. Somebody else will do it. I just enjoy things. That's if it's not joyful, don't do it. Your life's too short and it happens so quickly. So yeah, feel free to message me and we can talk about this one on one on Messenger or WhatsApp or something like that. No problem. I get it. I was a kid once, and I wish that I had somebody that would have talked to me. And I have lots of young friends. I love them because they're working on themselves. Yeah, well, I was conditioned to believe that I needed to be drunk to be funny, to be a good athlete, to be good at pool or darts, or to be entertaining to a group, because that's what I believed. And then once I gave up alcohol, I found out that I was better at all of those things without it, and I was like, I thought I needed it in order to do those things, and then I found out I was way better at them without it. So it was like, wow. But you don't know what you don't know, so don't be hard on yourself. Uh, yeah. Well, it's society. They make us into things that we don't want to be, and that's peer pressure. We do so many things that we don't want to do, but you're working on yourself, and so that makes you an anomaly, especially at your age. That's incredible. I highly, highly, highly high five you for being so proactive at your age. I didn't think about any of that stuff until I was in my until I was almost dead. It usually takes a really a near death experience, an NDE, for people to change things. They won't. They'll just keep